Hi, Genki Call here with the Soulforge offerings for the week of February 7th, 2022. We are in Shentang. No, we were in Shentang last week, which is important. We are in Suncrest right now. But the interesting thing is that not one, but two of the mythics in here are from Shentang, where we just left. This is the first time I have ever seen this happen. It used to be a thing for a while. Week after week, we would get one of the troops from the previous week in the Soulforge. It happened routinely for a while, but this is the first time I've ever seen two in here. Let's go over the legendaries first, however. So, Vanoxia is a personal favorite of mine. She is almost as powerful as Queen Beatrix. She creates 9 green and 9 blue gems, then does true damage to all enemies. It's not scatter damage, but it does do damage to all enemies. You put her on a team, this number will go up. And also, if you put her in a delve, that number will go up as well. So she's super in delves, and she does have the capability of looping. She poisons a random enemy on 4+ gem matches, which can be good on certain teams, like if you have Scorpius with you, but I have tried her with Scorpius and it's just not reliable enough, in my opinion, to take her out instead of something like Magnus, which will absolutely poison everything when he casts. Gain 1 magic when an ally casts a spell, though, means that every time you cast, you're going to get this number increasing every time. So that's very nice. Why I say she's not as powerful as Queen Beatrix is because Beatrix can get an extra turn even if she doesn't get a match 4. And also because Beatrix's third trait is so powerful, that cleanse for all troops. However, we're not here to talk about Beatrix. We're talking about legendaries that are in the Soulforge. Vanoxia is very good. Do I recommend that you craft her? Probably not. There are very few legendaries that I would personally recommend spending 800 diamonds on, because personally I would rather save those diamonds for weapons and mythics. Shadow Dragon, this is one I would say definitely not worth 800 diamonds. Poison all enemies and deal true damage to 1 random enemy, then transform all yellow gems to purple to boost the effect. Gain 1 attack when matching purple gems, and the magic link is very nice. Gain bonus purple mana from purple gem matches, so if you match 3, you're actually going to get 4 instead. Also, we have Queen Isabel, who is quite good in events. She's actually very useful in events, but I never use her outside of events. She does damage to the first enemy equal to the ally's attack, then gives them attack, meaning next time you cast on them, they'll get even more attack. So if you always cast on the first slot, then you're going to have such a high attack that you're just going to be blowing through your enemies with skulls. Plus, she's dealing damage to the first enemy equal to that attack. So it works really well, especially in events. She also gives them armor, which gives them sustainability, making them into a tank, even if they're not a tanky type of troop. Also gives 3 to 8 mana to all allies other than herself. It does not apply to her, but it does to everybody else. And then, she does have some skull damage reduction, so you can put her up front and cast on herself. If you choose to. Garuda is available in the event key drop table right now because he is from Suncrest. He does summon a firestorm, does damage to all enemies, then gains 1 magic, plus he's got a boost by red gems, 3-to-1 ratio, so if there are 10 on the board, you'll get an extra 3 magic. That increases this number every time you cast. And the rest of this is okay. I think that is it for the legendaries. Yes, it is. So let's talk about the mythics. Now, as I said, we have both Tian and Huanglong in here. I went over both of these last week because they were in the event key drop table. So suffice to say, would I spend the diamonds on these two, although I like them both, personally, I wouldn't spend 4,000 diamonds on them unless you really, really need a mythic for Shentang. I will put my mythic spotlights for these two at the end of this video so you can check those out. Teams are, there'll be thumbnails at the end of the video for each of them. And those videos will have teams, and you can see those teams in action to decide for yourself how you feel about these two. Tina, however, Tina has really fallen off the meta. I don't see her as much anymore, but she's really powerful, especially in Delves. And what makes her powerful, I mean, she's doing a range of damage, but it's true damage to 3 random enemies. There's a possibility she could hit the same troop 3 times in a row and take them out. But she's also gaining armor, and with that armor, she's adding 50% of her armor to skull damage. So if you've got a lot of armor, it's going to add a lot of attack on your skulls, and you've got a spell damage reduction by 50%, no skull damage reduction. But since you're adding to your armor, that kind of negates the fact that you don't have any skull damage reduction. And she also gains 2 armor on 4+ gem matches. She is a really good true damage troop. And kind of glad not to see her in PvP as much anymore because she's really a pain to fight. Which means she's a good troop to have. Leona's Tower is over here, always here, excuse me. Those are always here, always here. And then we have War, which I own, which I have used in some of my team building challenges, and I'm just not impressed with him. I have not found a team that I enjoy him on at this point. He burns all enemies, which is great if you have Fireblade. The level 100 talent for some of the classes that gives you triple damage to burning enemies. However, if you don't have that, you know, the burn to all enemies is okay. It does 3 damage every turn to armor, and then once the armor is gone, then it will do true damage. Does damage to only 1 enemy boosted by his attack, which, you know, that's nice. 32 plus, for me, 57. That's a nice chunk of nice bit of attack. He gains an extra turn if the enemy dies. Gains 3 attack at the start of each turn. He has infernal armor, and he does have the chance, a 50% chance to ignore armor with skull damage. We've got Lord of Slaughter has a 100% chance, and then there are a couple of legendaries that have this kind of armor piercing trait. So there's nothing really special about that. I would not recommend that you craft War at all because he is an apocalypse troop and he will not add to a power level for any existing kingdom. At this point, there is no apocalypse kingdom. So kind of would be a waste of your diamonds at this point to craft him unless you have every other mythic in the game and you just want to have all the things. Gotta have all the things, and I understand that, but I personally would recommend prioritizing troops that actually have kingdoms attached so that you can get those power levels up, because that is what is going to make the game really enjoyable. Getting those power levels up helps immensely. But now we're going to go on to weapons, and there are 2 exciting weapons in here. Those are always here. Javelin of Suncrest. This is one of those 75 diamond things that does double damage to wherever you're from. This time it's Suncrest. Remove all yellow gems. The only effect that is going to do is to get them off the board and boost the damage that you can do to 1 enemy. It's 3-to-1 ratio, so you know, again, if there are 10, you'll get an extra 3 damage on that. So it's not significant amount of damage. So if you want to use this on Guild Wars Yellow Defense Day, that might work because it would remove all of the yellow from the board so your enemy couldn't use them. It is a thought, something you could try. But, you know, this is something I'm going to craft because I need weapons for my kingdoms to get the power levels up. So I definitely want to get that. The Blade of Mourning, this is a new one for me, and it removes all purple gems and creates yellow gems equal to the purple gems removed. So this first part of the spell is very much like what Pycea does with the remove and create mechanic there. Then give 35 or just give life to one ally boosted by yellow gems now on the board with a 1-to-1 ratio. So if you end up with 20 yellow gems on the board, you'll get an extra 20 life to that one ally. Is it amazing? No, I don't think so, but again, this is something that could be used for Guild Wars on Purple Defense Day, just to deny your enemies purple. And if you need it for your power levels, I don't know how many weapons I need for Suncrest, so I'm going to wait on that. The exciting things are coming up, though. I'm going to skip. Oh, Nimbus Bow is one of them. Okay, I'm not going to skip. I'll forget. So this is another one of the 75 diamond ones. The light sword, deal damage to the first enemy, deal triple damage if they use purple mana. Now this is one that I would really consider using on purple defense day, because all of your enemies are going to be using purple to get the most points possible out of Guild Wars, and doing triple damage is significant. So it does create a light storm, which is great because it uses yellow mana. Also, it's not creating a dark storm, which would help your enemies. So this is one I would consider. It's only 75 diamonds. You're going to need weapons eventually for Suncrest, so this might be a good one for you. Nimbus Bow. Nimbus Bow may not be the best weapon from Suncrest anymore, but I still recommend that you make this. So, damage to an enemy boosted by Strix allies, then create a mix of 6 blue and yellow gems for each Strix ally. This is part of the meta team for triple finesse. You do triple finesse and this, and because even though you don't need the blue, you need the yellow, and you're going to get match 4s out of this. It's going to be really difficult not to get match 4s when you blow this off, because you'll have an entirely Strix team. So this is really, really good to run with triple finesse. But there's a new kid in town. The new kid in town, I'll come back to these, and that is the Staff of Storms. This is another possibility to run with triple finesse, and what is great about this: explode a bunch of yellow gems, grant a random status effect to all Strix allies. So if you're running with Stormcaller, that would be the entire team. It's going to summon in a Strix if you lose a troop. And that has always been the problem with the triple finesse team. If you lose one of your finesse troops and you're in a delve or you're in an event, you have an empty spot. And the whole thing about triple finesse is that third trait boosting your entire team. So that can make, losing one can make your team a liability. So this is an alternative to Nimbus Bow. You may not get as many match 4s, but anytime you blow things up, especially with a storm, which you will have if you're running Stormcaller, you're going to get match 4s. Perhaps not as much as with Nimbus Bow, but I do love this kind of weapon. It's a personal favorite of mine. So Staff of Storms and Nimbus Bow, absolutely recommend crafting one or the other, or both if you can afford them, because they are both excellent weapons. Slow down and breathe. Plumed Staff. I don't remember what this is. Deal damage to an enemy boosted by Suncrest allies, then create a mix of 6 yellow and purple gems for each Suncrest ally. I'm trying to think of something that uses purple in Suncrest, and nothing's coming to mind. I'll have to go in there and look. We will go and do that after I finish going through here, provided that I remember. I do forget sometimes. Javelin of Suncrest, another 75 diamond weapon. Remove all yellow gems, deal damage to an enemy, boosted by gems removed, yada yada, if they're from Suncrest deal. Wait, that is the one that I just crafted, isn't it? I'm losing my mind. Alright, let's go check out troops in Suncrest that use purple. So yellow and purple from Suncrest. Actually, let's do this the easy way. Here we go. Power level. And we're going to sort by base rarity because that's what I prefer. Yellow and purple. All right. And actually, we're just going to do purple. And then we're just going to apply the filter. So Quetzalma. I just got Quetzalma, so I forgot about it. But for the rest of these, you know, the only other one that I use is Sunbird. And if I'm using Sunbird, I'm using fire bombs. So maybe not the Plume Staff, but the other two, the Staff of Storms and the Nimbus Bow, definitely recommended unless you just hate the idea of the triple finesse team. So anyway, that is my report on the Soulforge for this week. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye!